Okay, fellas, I'll make no apologies for having my bullet points on a card, because I'm just a simple thick scouser, and if I don't have any bullet points on a card, I'll forget important things. Okay. First thing, who's the senior man? You're senior, Ambrose. Okay, mate. You will go on the stand side for me. Okay. I'll tell you about your special duties in a sec. John, you're my fourth official, but you will get involved as much as anyone on the day. Okay. Please feel part of the team. Everything I say to these guys applies to you. You're just as important to me as they are. Okay. Make no mistake about that. And I'll come to your duties at the end, the specific things that I want you to do. Okay. We do outside lefts, both halves, simply because I can't do outside rights. That's why we do lefts, okay? You'll go on this side, please, Ambrose. Gary, you'll go on the far side. We go out together, meet the skippers, then check the nets, then take your line, okay? I won't ask you to go out to the middle with us, John. I think it looks false, everyone trooping out there. They don't want to know us to that extent, so I don't see the point in taking extra bodies out there, okay? The substitutions, you'll deal with those, Ambrose, please. Having said that, we're on the Vauxhall Conference today, so consequently, yeah, you're going to deal with that. Keep forgetting Vauxhall Conference today. You'll do that. Okay, so I'll come to that in a second. What I would like you to do, please, Ambrose, is make a note of who comes on and who comes off, please, if you can. Again, you be the eyes on the old backside for us, Gary, making sure things are happening. The boxes. My belief on boxes is that if we control them, then we're a long way to controlling the players out there. So to that extent, I do not want effing and blinding coming out them boxes, whether it be at their own players or whether it be at us, okay? And I'm specifically now looking at any of us four. If they start on us, you're going to use your man management skills, Ambrose. Okay, fellas, that's fine, trying to calm it down. Once it gets above your tolerance level, I want to know about it. I don't care how hard the game is for me out there, I want to be brought across, you tell me exactly what's going on, and I'll sort it out from there. But I do not want them effing and blinding out there, because it will wreck your concentration. They could be having a go at me and it could start to affect me, so we'll kill it, okay?
I've called a ref for that.
Offside. I believe you lads have got the hardest job on the day. Your job's harder than mine, because offside these days can be a nightmare. I am looking for a slow flag. I do not want an instantaneous flag. When the ball is played, I want you to have a look at where it's travelling before you give me the flag, and I only want the man interfering with play. Being in an offside position, as you lads know, doesn't mean that he's interfering with play. Okay? So I only want the man who's there.
Come away, Matt! Come away and go again! Come away and go again, Macca!
Get Black is down!
Macca's down!
Get out! Get out!
Easy, that wasn't it?
The difficult one you've got now is the man who is actually closing the keeper down. You know what I mean? The back pass, the keeper punts it upfield and he's coming back. And you're thinking, bloody hell, is he or isn't he? If he's coming back, just have a look where the ball drops, if it is then played back. And if it's played down the middle and he's down the middle, he's offside. But if he's going out to the flanks, deliberately trying to run away from it, and it goes down the middle, I don't deem him to be offside. That is the way I look upon it. However, from your position as a linesman, if you've got any doubts as to interference, give me the flag. If you're a referee and you think, should I, shouldn't I, if you ever cross your mind, give it. Happy on that? Yeah. Similarly, the long range drive. If it's going into goal, unless there's someone all around the 6-yard box interfering with the goalkeeper's line of vision, I don't want the offside. I'm looking to give the goal. So bear that in mind as if you were refereeing as well. I play a lot of advantage, that's my game. I love to keep it flowing, but I won't do it to the detriment of control. If they start kicking lumps out of each other, then we'll stop it and bring them back in line. But I am looking to keep it going. So if you get lots of that from me, thanks fellas. I'm not overruling yet, I'm just trying to keep the game flowing the best way that I can. It would be wrong of me to tell you when to come into the game. You'll know as a linesman when to come into the game, but the skill of lining is when to drift in and drift out. Okay? If I'm there or thereabouts, I don't need help. But you'll know when I'm caught upfield or I'm unsighted, then come in. But I don't need the support flag. I know you've seen it. If I'm there, I'll just give it. Okay? Throw-ins in my half, have a look at me, go with me, so I'll go. In your half, I'm going to go with you. But if I see a deflection midfield, I've got no aversion to all this and all that to let you know, go my way. Okay? Corners, your side, behind the flag please, on your side. My side, come round to wherever you feel comfortable. That means the goal line's always covered and I can wander around and take up different spots when any trouble spots are flaring up. Penalty, we're all full referees, I'm not looking for first bite, but I am looking to only ask you to come into it if you're nearer to a situation than to I. So if it's on my side of the box, I'm not looking for you to come in, that's got to be mine. But if it's anywhere near you, use the penalty, come in. It's all about positioning. You have a look where I am, just have a quick look, and if I'm there, okay? But if you think it's a penalty, it's a penalty, goal judge only, okay? And I'll look after the keeper.
It gets up and he's all right.
If a goal is scored, it's happened to me in my last 2 Vauxhall Conference games where the ball has just dipped over the line and come out, and it's been great because the linesman's been there, flag in the right hand, point upfield and just leg it up to the halfway line. Everyone in the ground knows you've given a goal and they don't have an ounce of dissent from everybody because the communication was good. So that's the signal I'd like, good, clear, positive signal. Okay, coming onto the field of play, I don't really want you onto the field of play. However, if you can actually stop a player being sent off by your intervention, then do so. So consequently, you're here, 2 players about to square up in front of you. If you can get in, part them, all right fellas, that's great, matter's closed. However, once they've had a poke at each other, don't care how close you are, let the mates pull them apart, you stand and observe. Because I'm going to come across and I'm going to say, Gary, Ambrose, John, what have you seen, what have I missed, tell me. And if you've been amongst them, A, you're going to get hurt, but B, you've lost your composure and you're no good to me then. So stay out, let the mates rip them apart and then you can talk to me. Okay, similarly calling me over for mouth, your tolerance level will be different to mine, okay? Once you've had enough of a player, bring me across, tell me quickly and concisely what he's done, what he said, and I'll make the decision from there and I'll tell you what I'm going to do to that player before I leave you, so you're the first to know. Okay lads? And time, just once down the shorts, one of them, and that's it. I don't need one of those across there, alright? You'll do the writing for me, please Ambrose. I want cautions, number, player, what he did and the time. Okay? You're going to be the eyes on the backside for me at all times, alright? Okay fellas, alright that so far?
Yeah.
Alright, coming down to your specific duties, John. As I said, you're as much a part of this team as everyone else. I want you on the halfway line, there or thereabouts. You will look after the substitutions. There'll be a number board there. I want the player's number distinctly shown, who's coming off. Hang on to him, please, until the other bloke comes off. Even if it means you've got to grab his arm, I want him held onto, and then send the other fella across. And then you can make a note of who's on and who's off. Okay? Spare balls, I'm taking obviously a match ball. They should give you another load of spare balls. If it goes out the ground, I merely stand and I just go like that towards you, John. That means send the ball on for us and wait for that signal if you would, please. Okay? Other than that, anything during the game that you feel is worth recording, cautions or whatever, crowd misconduct, anything that you think is worth taking a note of, do so. Okay, mate? Happy in that, lads?
Yeah.
If anything happens to these boys, okay, if anything happens to Ambrose in particular, I would bring Gary on from the far side onto the dugout side and you would go on the far side. That's how it would be. Okay, lads?
Yeah.
Right, you're my senior man, Ambrose, if anything happens to me.
Anything I should do is I should go from being left, I should do right. That's all I should do. Make sure that we get on there comfortable, we don't race on there, just do it nice and comfortably so that we're all happy. Really right wings through the game. Apart from that, that's the same.
Okay, Theodore, let's go right barber and Andy Durst.
Yeah. They worked hard, them lads, though, so they deserve it. No gripes with them. But you're looking, I was saying to Ambrose on the way down, you're looking at the age that they're actually getting on the middle now, and you're looking at 28, 29 as being an average age now of making the middle, and that seems to be the way it is. We sort of take 2 whistles, I wouldn't. 2 out of, yeah, 1. and one in your pocket like that. You'll tend to find as well that most referees will have spare red and yellow cards inside pockets. You'll notice as well that one is oval and one is square. That's so when you reach in your pocket, you can tell that you've got it in the right one, that you're going to get the right colour card out, because once you get the wrong one out, you can miss the turret and whatever. Similar as well, you'll find that most refs will either keep the cards in the book like that, so as and when they're going to caution players, you'll get the name from them and then you'll take it from there. My preferences, I find that a bit messy. I like them inside. But what you've got to make sure is that you've got the red card underneath the yellow, because if you open the book up and you've got the red card on the top, some of them will automatically think that you're going to red them, and you're not, so you've got to make sure the yellow is on the top. Psychologically it has a better effect on it. You find most refs as well will carry 2 watches. I only carry 1. My own thoughts is I don't like anything on that wrist, but there's like 3 other lads here who are keeping the time, so if that was to suddenly stop, I know that he's keeping the time, and even John's keeping the time, so I don't really see the necessity for more than that. It's just personal preference as well. Some fellas don't mind. I just don't like anything on that, on a right wrist at all.
Get a touch!
And we have plenty of pencils, just in case we might need them, like, you know. So.
Okay. I've got the red flag, I'm senior. I'm senior. Where's me top?
Hi, what's up?
So you can use mine if you want.
Nah, I got stuff.
These junior linesmen. Alright.
Yeah, check your tops.
Yeah, the tops on.
You notice as well there's always like a senior and a non-senior linesman, so it's based on length of service on this particular league or any league that you're actually on. That's how it's actually based. And most refs will ask the senior linesman, in inverted commas, to take the dugout side. Some don't. Some will sort of say, I want you to do half on one side, half this side, but most will say senior linesman dugout. The reason for that is that it's normally a little bit harder to run the line on that side because you've got the benches to manage as well as your own job to do. So. Referees and linesmen, again, we all have different sort of routines, all have different habits. You know, some referees like to be changed when the managers come in with team sheets at 2:30, they like to be changed so that everything just looks efficient. I like to go for a run at 2:30 to get a sweat on so that when I go out there I feel ready to do a job and get changed at the last minute. So that's my way. I've seen referees ready at 2 o'clock, actually in their kit all ready to go at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's up to them, I suppose, isn't it? You find, like players at this time, that we just want to get out there and do it. Always, you know, we sort of this last 10 minutes or so is the time that we don't particularly like. We just want to get on with it. And unfortunately, we can't. Again, atmosphere in dressing rooms tend to be different. Some referees like a happy dressing room, like me, I'm fairly chatty, I like it. Other referees like it very quiet. And you tend to find that balance here. You have to tone in with the referee. If he wants it quiet, they stay quiet. If he wants it noisy, then anyone can do what the hell they like.
How did you become a referee in the Conference League?
How did I? In the Conference Leagues, I started at 16 in the local leagues on the Wirral. And then just progressed, you were noticed and you got reasonable club marks in those areas, and then you move on to like the West Cheshire League, which was like a local sort of good standard of football. Then you get promoted again onto the Northern Premier League, which is another high standard again. and then your marks from that, assessors marks and club marks, got you on the Football League linesman's list. Then, if you're doing well, you get put onto what we call the panel list, which means that we referee on the Vauxhall Conference and the football combination as well as lining on the Premier League and the Football League at the same time. So fellas at this level sort of are servicing about 4 leagues. So it's.
So why did you become a referee exactly?
By accident. I was running a youth club one day at 16, and the referee never turned up at an under-15s match, and I took the whistle, and that was 23 years ago. I'd have never stopped. That's how I came into the game, just by luck. Found I liked it and carried on with it.
Have you got to be a special type of person to be a referee? I mean, bearing in mind that you could be liable to get a lot of crowd abuse, couldn't you, really?
The two qualities I believe you need as a referee. You need good managerial skills. I'm no better referee than anybody else, but you like to think that I'm a sort of, I look upon it as a proactive referee. I like to look for smoke signals, sort them out, rather than wait for fires and then put the fire out. It's too late then. But you need bags of confidence. The game is about confidence. If you're confident, it transmits itself to these lads, and it'll transmit itself to the players. If you're not confident like players, you have a bad day, your confidence is down, you have a bad game. You know, so it's about confidence.
Can you get enjoyment from refereeing?
Yeah, we all enjoy it. If we didn't enjoy it, we wouldn't do it. We don't always look like we're enjoying it, but we turn up week after week and we do enjoy it. You know? Because the money's not brilliant, so you don't do it for the money, you do it because you enjoy it, you love the game. You know?
So if you've had a good game, not just yourself you felt that, but you know, perhaps one or two people have congratulated you, you feel good when you come in here afterwards, after the match?
You're buzzing. These lads will confirm that. You feel up there, and it's half an hour before you come down to earth. It's nice to go across into the boardroom or whatever and have a beer and whatever, and you get home, you feel on a high. Equally, if you know you've had a bad game, and the first person who knows you've had a bad game is yourself, you go home and for days afterwards you're despondent, not a few hours, for days afterwards it affects you, because you're a professional, you try to do everything the best way you can, you know, so it affects us that way as well.
What about Dagenham Redbridge? Have you been to this club before?
This is the first time I've been here. I've had them away from home only about 6 weeks ago at Bromsgrove on a night match. But this is the first time I've been down here, and I've been here before. But okay, yeah. Club's been nice, hospitality's been good, pitch is in good nick. This is the type of dressing room we're looking for, fairly big, spacious, clean. We don't ask for much, that's what we're after.
Just one final question. What are you expecting? Have you got any thoughts on what today's game's likely to go like?
We never prejudge any game at all. We don't even look at players on team sheets and say I'm going to have a problem with him. We just get out there and we do it. They will set the tone for it, not us. We will referee in accordance as to how they let us. If they let us referee and it's easy, that's fine. If they want to kick lumps off each other, then we have to come in and sort it. But it's up to them, not us. That's it. 5-2? Yeah. I'll just give them a bell. That was useful for you, lads. Yeah. We have all got parents as well. We think. Yeah. We think. Maybe all the game. Time to make it, fellas?
57. That's right.
57? Yeah. Ben Rose, do the business, mate. Have a good game. Good, Gary. Do it, lad. Okay, keep warm, mate. Let's go. Cheers, then.
Thanks, Brooks.